when we were in Ghana, we would go to the markets and we would see fruits, and it always looked like the fruit was about to go off. It always seemed like, oh, this fruit is only good for today, or this is only good for today and tomorrow. And we're like, we're trying to shop for the week. What do you mean you only got fruits that's good for today? I'm not trying to shop every day. Why do you not have produce that's gonna last for the whole week? And it started to get quite frustrating, and I remember firstly, I had a very challenging pregnancy at that time, so I was already kind of lacking in patience. But, you know, it felt very frustrating at the time, because it was like, why is the produce always so bad? Why is the produce always about to go off? And then I remember we spoke to someone and they were like, well, it's fresh. It's not supposed to last forever. And it was only then that it clicked, and it was like, oh yeah, fruit is supposed to go off. It's not supposed to last for a week. And I remember the last time we went back to the UK, and my mum bought cucumber, and I guess I didn't use it, and it sat there for 2 weeks. And there was no
blemish,
mold, there was no
softness,
deterioration, it didn't change over the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, now I can be like, oh wait, that's not natural. That's not okay. How genetically modified must that cucumber be to still be at its peak freshness, apparently? Apparent peak freshness 2 weeks later, but we were complaining, or I can't remember if it was we.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
I was complaining that, you know, fruit wasn't lasting 2-3 days when we were buying it in Ghana. And so, you know, that kind of, for me, is a prime example of, you don't need to change the country. Often, you know, we have this bubble, and it's because we've been programmed, because we've been brought up this way to believe that everything that is in our world is better, is good, is perfect, and everyone else has to catch up to us. And that is not true at all. Hey family,
what's up,
welcome
people?
back. It's Shanique.
I'm AJ.
And we're FroFamilyTravels.
That's right.
We're back with another video. So this one is, gosh, it is 7 years. By the time this goes out tomorrow, it will have been 7 years that we've been on this journey. 7 years since we left the airport and took our first flight as a family of 3 to
Spain,
Malaga, Spain.
Wow.
7 years.
Wow.
How did we get here?
It's a complete cycle. The 7-year cycle.
It's a whole cycle. That is very, very wild.
A lot of shit happened.
Yeah, a lot. It's been a lot. And for those in the comments, anyone here been with us since day dot? Anyone been with us since day one? That would be amazing to see. Let us know in the comments. So
wow.
Wow, yeah, it's 7 years. 7 years that we've been committed to this life of, you know, global citizenship. And we've seen so much, we've experienced so much, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, all the in-betweens as well. Yeah. And it felt right to make a video, an update.
Of course.
I guess reflecting back and sharing 7 lessons that we've learned on the road for 7 years.
Even the 777.
What's the third 7?
No, I wrote our bond that's bounded 3 times. It's hard to break.
Okay, yeah, no, I know. But what's the third 7? 7 years, 7 lessons. What's the third 7? Okay, but yeah, so 7 years.
7 lessons and year
lessons.
7 for completion.
That's 7 years. That's the same thing. All right. So 7 lessons. Let's go to it. So let's share with you 7 things that we've learned. And I'm trying to make these a little bit different from the typical things that you would hear people say, a little bit. Some of them might be repetitive, and maybe they're repetitive just because they just need to be said, you know? So let's jump straight into it.
Alright then.
Alright, number 1, just do it.
That's the greatest slogan ever written by a man, you know.
Just do it.
And when you have experienced it, really solidified.
If you've been thinking about moving abroad, if you've been thinking of whatever, and I'm relating it to moving abroad because obviously that's the thing, the big thing that we've done in our most recent time, but it can be anything.
Yeah, it's not about moving abroad only. It's you want to do something.
Just do it.
Just do the damn thing.
You have to do it.
You're gonna fall on your face.
Yep, probably.
Most likely. But just do it, because as long as you're moving towards it, you know, you get there.
Yeah. The worst thing, I've always said that one of my biggest fears, I don't feel as much as I used to. I still get concerned and worried about things. But the biggest fear that I have above anything else is regret. The idea that I had the opportunity to and I didn't. I could have done something and I didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, all of those kind of things. I do not want to get to the end of my life and look back and think, if only I had. What could my life have looked like if I was brave enough to? That scares me more than anything else. I would rather try and fail, and I feel that was one of the things that helped us to move forward in this journey. Is a worst case scenario, even if we fail, at least we can say we tried and we did it. So we've come across people, happen recently, we talked about in the last video, like people that have waited till, not to say it's too late, but it's like they worked and now they're too old to give it their, to fully enjoy it. Or I think about Alicia and her aunt, who worked all her typical working life because of the belief that once she hits retirement, then she was going to travel the world. And she retired, and within 3 months of retiring, she was no longer on this earth. And she never got to get on a flight.
What are you trying to say then?
Just do it. You have to just do it. Then there is no time, like ages, there's no such thing as waiting until a certain age. That doesn't exist anymore. We're seeing people losing their lives at all ages, even younger than us now, so there's no, tomorrow doesn't exist. We only have this moment, so just do it.
All right then, that's number 1.
Number 2 I've got is change your mindset, not the country.
That's interesting. I had that too.
Change your mindset, not the country. Often there is this belief that I'm going to move abroad and I'm going to start a business, or when I move abroad and I see that they could be doing this better, or we start getting frustrated because the locals, the people aren't doing this thing as effectively as they could be. It's not efficient as it could be. It's not, it could be done better. In the UK, it's like this or whatever. And no, don't do that. Let me give an example from our experience. When we were in Ghana, we would go to the markets and we would see fruits, and it always looked like the fruit was about to go off. It always seemed like, oh, this fruit is only good for today, or this is only good for today and tomorrow. And we're like, we're trying to shop for the week. What do you mean you only got fruits that's good for today? I'm not trying to shop every day. Why do you not have produce that's gonna last for the whole week? And it started to get quite frustrating, and I remember firstly, I had a very challenging pregnancy at that time, so I was already kind of lacking in patience. But it felt very frustrating at the time, because it was like, why is the produce always so bad? Why is the produce always about to go off? And then I remember we spoke to someone and they were like, well, it's fresh. It's not supposed to last forever. And it was only then that it clicked, and it was like, oh yeah, fruit is supposed to go off. It's not supposed to last for a week. And I remember the last time we went back to the UK, and my mum had bought cucumber, and I guess I didn't use it, and it sat there for 2 weeks, and there was no
blemish,
mold, there was no
softness.
deterioration, there was no, it didn't change over the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah, no.
And it's like now I can be like, oh wait, that's not natural. That's not okay. How genetically modified must that cucumber be to still be at its peak freshness? Apparently, apparent peak freshness 2 weeks later. But we were complaining. Oh, I can't remember if it was we.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
I was complaining that fruit wasn't lasting 2-3 days when we were buying it in Ghana, and so that kind of for me is a prime example of you don't need to change the country. Often, we have this bubble, and it's because we've been programmed, because we've been brought up this way to believe that everything that is in our world is better, is good, is perfect, and everyone else has to catch up to us. And that is not true at all. And it's like when we were in Spain, another example, and seeing seeds in cucumber for the first time. And then in Thailand, and seeing seeds in bananas for the first time.
Yeah.
Like seeing full seeds in a banana. That was like wild. And it's like, we think in the West that we're better, and we are not. We are not. So it's us that needs to change.
Program the civilization out of you.
We think we're better, we think we're more civilized. And even being melanated, and we've done Black history studies, and I would like to believe that kind of we're a little bit more conscious than we used to be, but even still, you are no better.
No.
We are no better. None of us are. We're different.
So the message is change your mindset regarding your environment.
Yeah. Number 3, social media is a lie.
I knew that. I'm not engaged on social media anyway.
Don't believe everything that you see and read.
I've always seen it as people are their own directors of their life, and they can show
what they
glamorous
want you
things,
to
and
see.
only the whole room is there, and they show one part of it which is probably clean, and 95% of it dirty. I'm like, yo, I'm not taking an image which can speak 1,000 words for a small area, your perspective, and saying that, oh wow, your life is amazing. Oh wow, you look amazing. You look beautiful. I don't know what's going on up here.
Yeah. It's about programming, and we've been programmed to see perfection as the standard. If it doesn't look like this, it's not attractive. If it doesn't, we want all the glitz and glamour.
I don't.
It sounds nice. We want people to sell us a dream. And, I'd like to believe that we're very transparent and raw about our experiences, and sometimes that makes me think that's probably why we don't have a larger following than we do, because we're just real, and it doesn't look.
We're the Don Cheadle of social media.
What does that mean?
Don Cheadle has mastered the art of being a celebrity with who paparazzi don't follow, because it's like, oh, he's just going to the supermarket.
Boring.
He's boring.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do, or he doesn't pretend.
Yeah.
He's just going
regular.
I'm going to shop market to pick up cucumbers.
Always say we're just regular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm special in my own way, my own here to my own story. I don't need to come, because all they're doing is just playing up to, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, so you really have to be careful. Like when you're following different accounts of people, like do your due diligence. Don't just follow, what one person says. Even us, to a certain extent. Don't just follow what we say. Cross-reference. Go and see what other people are saying, and our experience isn't the whole story. It's our experiences for us, and we're a family of 4. We're in our 30s. We've got 2 young children. Our story is going to be very different to a family of 4, even who have teenage children. And maybe earn more than we do. We're all gonna tell different stories. So
but also with that, you can't get the full breadth of context just by recording on a phone or laptop.
From
because
a 1 minute clip
exactly,
out of your whole day.
Look at how much bloopers you have when people make movies.
That part.
How much scripts are written and thrown away. And these are the exciting parts of people never get to see that made the cut.
Yes.
So you know what? Yeah, man. Yeah. Just be careful.
Do your due diligence.
Don't put anybody up on no pedestal.
That part.
Definitely don't put me on pedestal because I don't want to drop.
But yeah, do your research, cross-reference, second, third, fourth sources, and all those things. Number 4 I've got is just get the insurance. Do not do this without the support of a solid finance-backed. Get the insurance. It's really important, and because you never think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you. We never thought that we would have to make a big claim, a claim as big as we did. Over $20,000 that hospital bill came to in 2020. I think about if we didn't have our insurance, having to come up with $20,000 off the cuff. Get the insurance. Like you just never know. Like we're very young, we're healthy, neither of us have any major issues, no kind of medical complications at all. Our children are very healthy. Never thought anything would happen to us.
I was still in recovery from that
part. So yeah, you never know what's around the corner. Accidents happen, life happens. And you want to make sure that you're prepared. And for the sake of now, we spend $100 a month. $100 a month compared to £20,000, $20,000 up front. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, get the insurance. Number 5 I've got is create multiple streams of income.
Charlie. Listen, Charlie, listen to me, okay? You better create multiple sources of income. Hey, listen to me, man. If it's one thing that we would have changed and done differently after clearing £18,000 of debt, and then in 2 years, and then saving £15,000 in the next thing that we would and should have done in hindsight, although I don't regret anything, is that we would have had a stable and secure avenues of multiple streams of income.
Yeah. Before we left.
We
technically, and like you said,
nothing. We didn't.
We didn't, and I don't, like you said, I don't regret our journey.
Because
but in hindsight, exactly. But in hindsight, I do wonder, like, if we should have stayed one extra year in the UK.
I hear that
to create our income.
But no.
I know that if we did, we then would have been closer to, because we left in 2018, and obviously the world shut down in 2020. So we would have only had 1 year of a journey, and then and that 2020 would have been the year we hit Asia, and Asia shut down. So to a certain extent, I'm glad it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But we probably could have done, if we were doing it all over again.
Yeah.
We would have spent an extra year building up the income.
It's a year, 2 years. Focus on it.
Yeah. Having the savings alone.
Yeah.
We had 15k in savings. Wasn't enough.
No.
Partly wasn't enough because we started in Europe.
That's true. I hold my hands up because I wanted to start in Spain, Malaga. I hold my hands up. We got to Thailand, and then it was able to stretch a lot.
Yeah, we should have gone to Southeast Asia first, like I suggested.
Yeah, well, I had a plan. I wanted to get my qualifications in
Could have
English.
done that in Thailand as well. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, no, we should have focused on our income first. The crazy thing is, we started making income quite quickly when we were on the road. You know, I started my digital products immediately.
Yes, yeah.
You started building websites. You started teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we before the end of the first year, we already had like 3, and I was affiliate marketing. We already had like 4 streams of income before we even hit our first year. So we did it. However, we were doing it with Taji, obviously, and so that juggle just meant that we didn't get to focus on developing it as much as we probably would have liked to.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our journey has almost been playing catch up and just trying to, you know, go through the motions by enjoying the journey as well as building the income. And like you said, we're still building the income. So if in hindsight we would have built the income first.
So that's our recommendation.
So
that's our advice.
I know people ignore it. I know people always, I say it all the time, and like literally we had someone in our community that said it the other day, and she was like, I know you said secure your income, but I couldn't. I mean, it is your business. I know
Life
people
happens sometimes,
and people get desperate and they want to get out as quickly as
environments
possible.
Change.
And people have made it with less than $1,000 in their bank account.
Yes.
Like you can
do it.
Do it.
We're just trying to give you the safest, least path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Because we are still working.
Yeah.
Every day, Monday to Sunday, we are working.
Yeah.
Because we're still on the journey of establishing, because of what happened to us.
Especially, I was going to say, especially like if you're going down the self-employment route, you probably need, you need to establish yourself even more. Because that road is just so rocky and unpredictable.
I know.
I saw a meme the other day that was like, I'll try and post it. And it was like, entrepreneurship is so wild. Like you could have $1.22 in your bank account on Monday. Excuse me, hiccups. By Wednesday, you have like $50,000. And then have $2 on Friday, and it's like that is literally. Oh gosh, I got hiccups. Oh man,
bruv, well, you can have hiccup in this whole thing.
That is literally how wild it can be, and like I've had some months with my digital products where it's like make £50 one month, the next month I could make $2,500 pounds, and then the next month is like half.
Yeah.
Like it's just so unpredictable.
You can't predict it.
That's one of the reasons why we are always adamant about multiple streams of income, because if one income does diminish, we always have another stream that you can fall back on, and that you can, you know, I'm like, okay, cool, that's fallen, cool, let me go all in on this, or let me focus on this. And I will link down in the description a link to our blog where you can sign up to some potential suggested income streams. You can find out about the income streams that we have and other things that you might want to consider.
What's next?
6.
All right, one left.
Number 6. Switch off the news.
I stopped watching the news whilst I was in London.
Yeah. I
remember going to work and I hadn't watched the news. When we left, I hadn't watched the news about 2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you say 2 years, because I think for me, it was after doing the Black History Studies course, and then like learning, just eyes being opened and being like, I can't trust any of what you guys are saying, switch it off. And I'm someone, I used to listen to the radio like every single day on my way to work.
BBC, what's it called? LBC.
LBC.
Oh my goodness.
I used to listen to it every day.
LBC.
On my way to work, on my way back from work.
And I couldn't understand it. I'm like, you know that they're only propagating negative news.
It's programming, it's what we've grown up with, right? It's what's been normalised. My mum still probably listens to LBC every
time we go back to the UK.
She's always got LBC on, so it's just what you're accustomed to, you know.
Yeah.
And they do have some good discussions. I liked it for that, but then the news ain't got anything good to say, anything that's gonna be helpful for your journey. They're not trying to encourage you. They're not trying to share with you how, how possible this is and your potential and all the amazing things you can experience. No, especially if you're trying to get out of the West. We all know what the agenda is going to be about anything that opposes Western society. So switch it off. The world is safer, more beautiful, and more pleasant. And people around the world generally are much nicer than you realize. Much nicer than you probably think. All the time people ask us if it's safe. Are we safe? Are we safe? Why do we not ask these questions about the UK? Why do we not ask these questions about the US? Where, especially the US, where literally people will be like shooting up schools on a daily. But we never ask, is the US safe?
Propaganda, man.
So switch off the news.
Look off the news, take some time to reflect on yourself.
Yeah.
Go inside, go outside. Quiet, connect with nature. Go inside
to go outside.
That part. Everything you need is inside anyway.
Yeah. As within, as without.
Let them say. Alright then, last one. 7 for 7 for 7. Come true.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Be prepared to meet your true self.
There.
Sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort zone.
Sometimes you have to step away from family.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to step away from the environments you grew up in.
Things that you knew,
sometimes
thought you knew.
Yeah. You have to step away from everything sometimes to stretch you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the things that you're programmed with based on family, environment, society, culture, you only know that.
That part.
But we all know that for diamonds to come through, they only come through under pressure. So you will be on a journey of rediscovery. And also when you go traveling, one of the beauty is that rediscovery really comes into play, because then you ask yourself a lot of questions. You question a lot of things.
Yeah.
Everything is
questioned.
I've questioned everything, and I've come to conclusion on a number of things. And a number of things I've just said no, that's no longer true, and a few things have become apparent.
You have, when you step outside of your comfort zone, the distractions, the noise, like when I go back to London, and that's why I'm like, sometimes it is about your environment. I know people are like, oh, you can do that anywhere, which yes, it's true, you can technically. When
you are at that mindset level already.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of us still have a lot of work and healing to do. And I know for me, I'm still at the very beginning of my journey, and when I go back to London, like instantly getting off the plane is loud. It hurts.
Getting off the plane.
As soon as I stepped off the plane.
In the sky.
In the sky.
Then it changed for me.
Gosh, like the underground, when we went on the underground for the first time after being back, this time particularly, which shows me how much I've changed, because we've been back several times, but this time particularly, it hurts. It hurt to go on the underground. My ears, I literally had to cover my ears. True. I could not take the underground, and it makes you realize again how conditioned you are to just accept certain things. To pain.
That's what it is.
To pain,
to suffering. You are conditioned to. You are a frog in a boiling water, and you're conditioned to suffering. And when you take yourself away from the boiling water, and you start feeling a little breeze blow on you, you're like, what's this?
Yeah. And it wasn't until we returned that it was like, oh no, this I used to be okay with this.
I think it happened for me when I went in the hospital.
Okay.
Because I then had time to reflect on what's really important about life and what I really want out of life. I'm still on that journey at the very beginning, because I still have to live life and handle responsibilities, so that hasn't...
It's been like a part-time discovery.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would like to just go off for like a year.
Yeah, man. Go to a monastery, go into the bush.
Yeah, you would
go
do that.
Complete silent.
But
but it's true. You don't know what you don't know. And you don't know, or you don't know until you know.
leave.
Until you leave
and step outside.
and step out, because
Yeah.
there are growth that is, you know within yourself that there's a yearning inside you for something. You're not fully living your life in the way you should be living it. But how can you do that when you're overworked, when you're tired, when you wake up and it's dark, and you come back home and it's dark, when the community / family way of living isn't what it used to be? Everybody is stressed, everybody is overworked, everybody is tired, and the little connection that we have left right now, we are just trying to grasp at it to stay afloat. We saw how damaging it was in the panini. A lot of people passed because of the connection that's been tried to sever. So until you step out and you reconnect with yourself on all levels, you will continue to boil in that water, and you think it's normal. So why do you feel so elated when you go on holiday?
I'm living my best life. You're not supposed to only do that for like 2 weeks out of like 52 a year.
What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to have the space in your mind and your environment to define what freedom really looks like to you. But you can't do that until you have the space in your environment and your mind and some level of experience that you've tasted different things. And then you can say to yourself, now this is what my freedom looks like, because it's going to be different for me and for you.
Even now, like, I feel like we are still very much at the beginning of our journey.
I haven't started.
I know, especially for me, like, you know, now that Amal's almost 3, you know, we're done with children.
Done. I want to play a song. Done.
We're done having children, and I'm kind of just on the other side of postpartum recovery, and I feel like I have to learn who I am for the first time. For the first time, I got to learn for the first time. What do I like? How do I want to spend my days? What do I want to do when I wake up?
You've changed a lot over the years.
Changed so much.
It's been 7 years since we've gone on this
journey. So I'm in and I'm turning 40 this year. I'm
sexy party. Yeah, man.
I'm on like a whole rediscovery journey myself. Even though we've been doing this for 7 years,
I'm on a whole new rediscovery of you too.
We're still just getting started. You know, we're veterans at this now, I feel, but we're still learning about ourselves. It's a journey. There is no true destination. There's no arrival.
No. This is life. It's continually evolving.
It's constant.
So for me, at least, my destination is for, let's say, the next 2 to 3 years, 2 to 5 years, or the next 7-year cycle. And then it's changing again.
Yeah, what's going to happen in the next 7?
Oh, I'm fabulous. Fabulous.
Man, this is a trip.
Wait,
what's going
hold
to be
on,
the next
I'll be 42.
42. I'll be almost 47.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't even fathom what that might look like.
I'm gonna look good.
Let's see.
Real good.
It's gone to grayscale. I don't know. I kind of like the grayscale.
Yeah, that grayscale look awesome, man.
I don't know if you guys are getting grayscale.
Yeah.
My phone is quite late. That's my phone telling me it's bedtime.
Time for some.
It's 9:30 p.m. So my phone's gone to grayscale. So I don't know if you're getting grayscale, but if you are, I kind of like it. But that is also signal to say that we've come to the end
of the 7-year recap.
We have.
I hope you've enjoyed us taking the time to reflect with you. It's been emotional.
Here's to the next 7, babe.
Yeah, with an empty cup.
Cheers.
Cheers and all of that. Salute.
See ya.